Welcome to the tutorial for Sentricon station tracking using PestPack Mobile. This tutorial is for authorized operators who have chosen to have their ProLinks database integrated into PestPack. Begin by selecting Company Setup from your company menu. Scroll down to the area labeled Modules and Features and make sure the Station Tracking option is checked. If this is not enabled, PestPack will be unable to save any Sentricon station information. Next, continue scrolling down to the area labeled Service Order, Service Setup Options, and enable the setting to Link Service Setups to Manual Service Orders. Last on this screen, scroll down to the Sentricon Options area. Check the Use Sentricon box to display the available settings. The first two fields allow you to set how frequently a Sentricon site should be inspected when in monitoring mode or when baited. The Next Contract ID is used to assign a contract number to a Sentricon account if that customer's location code is already being used. Under Generate Sentricon Order, you have three options. When posting a Sentricon order, we'll instruct PestPack to automatically create the next service order for a Sentricon site when the current order is posted. The work date for the next order will depend on whether the stations at the site are being monitored or are baited. Using normal PestPack rules will allow Sentricon service setups to generate orders as if they were normal setups using your PestPack schedule types. Orders will be created following the schedule type chosen, regardless of whether or not the stations are baited. When posting a Sentricon order based on normal PestPack rules is a combination of the previous two choices. When this option is selected, PestPack will look at both the setup schedule and whether the site's stations are being monitored or are baited. PestPack will then determine in what month the site should next be inspected based on the Sentricon information, but will pull the day and week information from the schedule type code. After choosing which order generation method will work best for your company, return to the top of the screen and click the Save button. Now choose Lookup Tables from your company menu. There are two lookup tables that must be set to use Sentricon with PestPack: the Station Consumables and the Station Types tables. Clicking on the Station Consumables link will bring you to a list of the Sentricon recruit baits that have been pre-filled by Marathon Data Systems. In the future, it may be necessary for you to add new Dow Sentricon products to this table, but all current recruit in-ground and above-ground baits should be available at the time of your ProLinks integration. The Station Types table contains the different types of Sentricon stations: above ground, in-ground, and in-ground ESP. By clicking on the Edit link, you can choose which Sentricon baits your company will be using with each station. To add a new Sentricon site, click the New Service Setup link on the customer's location detail screen. On the Service Setup screen, you will now see a checkbox labeled Sentricon Setup. Enabling this option will open up a new section with all of the Sentricon options and settings. The fields highlighted in red are required by Dow AgroScience and must be filled in before the setup can be saved. The contract ID is this location's unique Sentricon code and is assigned automatically. The construction year refers to when the structure being treated was originally built. Stories refers to the primary building's number of stories. Linear feet is for the size of the treatment area. The monitoring and gated frequency fields allow you to change how often this location should be inspected. It is important to note, however, that once a station at this site is baited, PestPack will compare the bait frequency for that chemical to the bait frequency in the service setup and use whichever interval is shorter for determining when the next service should be performed. The application type field allows you to choose whether the service is preventative or curative. Treatment history prompts you to choose whether this location has been treated less than 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago, or never. Based on whether the service location is commercial or residential, you must choose the appropriate description for the structure. Building material and condition are used to describe the primary structure itself. While the install date is not a required field, it will help you to keep track of how long the site has been receiving treatment. The last service and next service date fields will be filled in automatically by PestPack as service orders are created and posted. Once all of the stations at this location have returned from baited to monitoring, the technician will determine whether the colony has been completely eliminated. If the decision is made that yes, the colony has been eliminated, the date will be entered in the colony eliminated field. The client and site sequence fields are used if this customer's information was converted from Dow's previous ProLinks system. After entering all of the Sentricon information, you can continue adding the service setup as if it were a normal service by choosing a service code, entering a price, choosing a schedule type, and selecting which technician will be performing this service. Now that all of the customer's information has been entered, there are 2 ways to create the service order for this contract's initial treatment. First, you can check off the Initial Order box in the Service Setup screen. This will open a new section, which you can use to schedule the service order. The other option is to click the blue Order link that appears next to this service setup on the customer's location detail screen. Once the order is saved, you are ready to download it to your handheld. You should now switch to your PestPack mobile handheld computer. To download your Sentricon orders, select the Data Transfer Agent from your handheld's menu. You will be prompted to enter your company key, username, password, and server address. Note that the username and password entered should be for the technician who will be performing the service. You will then be prompted to enter a date range for the orders you want to download. You can choose to download work for today, this week, this month, or a specific date range. By clicking on the Options tab, you can also choose whether you want to download customer account notes or history records along with the service orders. Select Download to begin transferring the service orders to your handheld device. Once the download is complete, exit the Data Transfer Agent and select PestPack Mobile from your menu. Once PestPack Mobile is open, you will see a list of the orders scheduled for today. Select the initial service order you created and press Time In to begin adding stations for this location. Begin by choosing Stations, and the station selection screen will appear. When you scan the barcode of the station you wish to add, the program will ask you to confirm that it's being added because this is a new station. If you press Yes, you'll be brought to the Add Station screen, where you can enter the building and area that the station is located near. Every time a Sentricon station is scanned, whether it be to add a new station or check an existing one, you must select the Activity option. In the Activity screen, you will be prompted to choose whether the station is inactive, has been hit and is currently occupied with termites, or has been hit but is currently unoccupied. If the station has visible termites, you can choose which species. If recruit bait has been added, you'll be prompted to scan the bait's barcode, and then a slide bar will appear representing how much of the bait remains. When a bait tube is added for the first time, this slider will be left at full. Press Done and you'll be brought back to the main station screen so that you may add another new station or continue inspecting existing stations. When all the station inspections are complete, press the Back button to return to the main service order screen to enter any notes, comments, or additional chemical information for this order. Once the service is complete, press Post to close the service order and capture the customer's signature. After all of your services are completed, you must prepare the information in your handheld for uploading back to PestPack. Select the Prepare for Upload option from your file menu, and PestPack Mobile will begin to back up all of your information. When the process is completed, select Exit to close PestPack Mobile. Log into your data transfer agent again, but this time select the Upload option instead. You will be prompted to confirm the upload. Click OK and all of the completed service orders will be transferred back into PestPack and placed into a posting batch. Now return to PestPack on your computer. Remember that at least once every 7 days you must export all of your current Sentricon information to Dow AgroScience. On the mobile.pestpack.net site is the link to download the Sentricon export utility. This utility must be downloaded onto the computer that has been registered with Dow as your ProLinks computer. The export utility will use the dialing program provided by Dow to place an outgoing call on your phone line. Simply choose which authorized operator code, or AO code for short, you will be sending information for and click Export. The program will then gather all of the necessary information from PestPack into one file. Select this file from the list and click the Dial button. Repeat this process for each AO code your company uses. All Sentricon reports can be found on the Reports page by selecting All Reports from your Reports menu. This concludes the Sentricon tutorial for PestPack. Thank you.